All right, next prompt is that Austin and Hunter were bullies or are bullies.
Yeah,
Tony, did you want to start off?
I hear this a lot. I think it's just people that want to push this idea so that they can just get Carmelo freed. There's no evidence of that. I'm surprised that there haven't been more stories surface about the boys' bullying behavior in the past. I mean, if anything, it kind of tends to. I tend to think that they're actually pretty good dudes. Now, maybe they may have, acted untoward on this event, but historically, they don't seem to be bad guys. And but to be honest with you, I don't think that Carmelo is necessarily a bad dude either. Um, I mean, yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble at school for a few things, but for the most part, I think
yeah, that's all right. So that's where my bad, Johnny. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let me let you finish. Go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. I think I'm finished.
Right. Now, that's another social media talking point on both sides because it hasn't really been any evidence to what these topics is bringing up. Right? It's stereotypes. That's what that's what it comes down to, stereotypes. Like I had like 10 people in my comment section this morning talking about Karmelo Anthony was posing with a gun and he's this thug. And I'm like, that was an airsoft gun. Like y'all people get so entrapped into stereotypes to where like it's not really any evidence to back up half the stuff they're saying. One person told me that he was suspended months before for having a knife. Then another person told me when I showed them that he scheduled to be at that track meet and compete, they told me, oh, he got suspended that morning for having that knife. I'm like, it keeps changing and changing every time you bring up something to rebut their feelings. So for me, it's just a talking point. They're going to have to bring that up in court. I'm only going by what was said in the police report because that right there is, we know that's going to be some type of evidence and used in court. There was a bully and all of that. They need other stuff to show proof of that.
I don't think that that's admissible. On either side, either Carmelo or the Hunters, the Metcalfs, their past bullying behaviors or whatever trouble they got into is not going to be admissible. The judge won't allow that in.
I'm saying it will be relevant. It will be. Sorry about that. It can be brought into evidence, but it will have to be a witness. That means it have to be someone who can attest to something that they did of that nature, because that shows their history of it. Just like with Karmelo Anthony, they're going to try to bring up stuff from his past to show a trend of his behavior, which is admissible, but someone has to admit it. So you will have to have someone who's quote unquote a victim of their bullying to come on the stand and say, well, yeah, they did this to me at this point and before, stuff like that. That's why I don't really get into it all that much, because there's certain things that will have to come out in court for it to even be relevant.
John?
I'd just like to say that I've never seen a case where either the victims or the defendants' past crimes or behaviors or anything like that was admissible in the current case. I'm not as familiar with Texas law as I am with other states, so I'm not sure how it works there. I've never seen it brought in, though.
I would think the only way that it feels relevant if they can show in the past where the bullying was intended towards Carmelo, like Austin and Carmelo had previous interactions in the past, then that would make sense. But any bullying, like this bullying could be a lot of things. Bullying could be giving somebody a wet willy or a wedgie or punching people. It could be a lot of different forms of it. So unless they have proof relevance that it was towards Carmelo, that Carmelo would have perceived and known about it, but apparently Carmelo didn't know him. They could have been church boys to him or actual bullies. He doesn't know.
All right, so go ahead.
Well, we went through this with the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And I went through pretty heavily the old admissible evidence deal. And it comes down to probative versus prejudicial. How important is it for the jury to hear this? And how damaging is it to the person's character? And quite frankly, unless there's a very strong nexus to the actual crime or let's say, event, they're not going to allow it. I don't see any of Carmelo's or Hunter's or Austin's past indiscretions being admissible here. And that actually works in Carmelo's favor, by the way.
Yeah, I agree too. Carmelo's stuff also doesn't matter either. It's all what matters is what happened
Yeah.
at that date.
His previous suspension for the ninth thing, that's a little dicey. I still don't think it will be admissible, but I could see the argument for it. But the other stuff, no. I mean, you know,
They don't even need it.
I mean, the view of it is that if you have an event, let's say an event where somebody dies, and you want to convict somebody, you got to convict them on what happened there. You can't convict them on who they are or what kind of person they are. It's called character evidence, not admissible in a criminal trial.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's exactly what you're saying, right? And it will have to be based upon the past history that they had with each other. They, in all consistency, says that they don't have a past history. So what happened prior to that meeting doesn't really hold any weight because they didn't have no altercations, unless you can show that they had some altercations prior to that. So you'll have to show that they ran into each other somewhere, and they did something to Karmelo Anthony, or Karmelo Anthony did something to them that'll make them act the way they acted. So that's why I don't really, like I said, it's talking points. It's the media, right? Just like everybody is saying how they paint Karmelo Anthony as this thug and he this and he that, and so guess what? I'm gonna counteract that by saying the twins are bullies. That's all it is. It's just a counteraction. You're saying Karmelo is a thug. We're going to say the twins are thugs and they're bullies.
I agree with that.
I think this is kind of a moot point just because I don't think any of it's going to be allowed in the trial anyway. So
Exactly. That's what I'm like. That's what I've been saying from the jump. Like, I'm like, if people actually listen to when I talk instead of listen to respond, I've been saying that from the start. Let's just concentrate on what was in the police report and what is not in the police report, because it's a lot that is not there, and it's a lot that we don't really know that's going to have to come out in court of what transpired under that tent.
Let's move on.
I mean, that would only be relevant. Oh, go ahead.